Hello my dear students, I hope you all are doing well. So once again welcome back to your geography class. So today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is non-conventional sources of energy. If you have remembered, then you can easily understand that in our last class we have discussed about the conventional sources of energy. So what is conventional sources of energy? The energy sources that is being used by the human beings for so many years, okay, and that means the non-conventional sources of energy is completely opposite of conventional sources of energy, where these sources of energy have been developed in the recent few years. Okay, people, they are not so familiar with this non-conventional sources of energy. So as a definition, if you want to write it, you can write the sources of energy which have been developed for recent past times and which is completely pollution free. That is known as non-conventional sources of energy. Here one thing I need to mention to you all, that non-conventional and renewable both are same. Please don't make mistake over here, because so many students they do mistake over here that conventional and non-conventional. Is conventional renewable? No. Non-conventional and renewable both are same. Okay. Now what is renewable or what is non-conventional? Renewable means the sources of energy which you can renew easily. Now renew means what? You can reproduce easily. Okay. The limit or generally the amount of such type of energy is limitless. We can say it is unlimited. Okay. So if I'll give you some examples, then I think this topic will be clear to you all. What are the examples of non-conventional sources of energy? Obviously sunlight or solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, nuclear energy, and then last but not the least, that is biogas. Okay, so see, solar energy, wind energy, they all are available. They are unlimited in amount. So they will come under non-conventional sources of energy. Now, if you look into the features, that is the most important part over here. What is that? They are inexhaustible. Inexhaustible means there is very less chance to finish up of all these resources. Okay, these resources cannot run out from our environment. Number 2, it is completely pollution free. Number 3, it is easy to maintain. Okay, and number 4, the maintenance cost for this type of energy sources is very less. So these are the 4 basic types of features which can depict the entire characteristics or entire structure of these non-conventional sources of energy. Now one by one I am going to discuss with you all what are the general features of different types of non-conventional sources of energy. Okay, so in this part, in this class, I am going to discuss 3 types of or 3 examples of non-conventional sources of energy. What are they? Number 1, solar energy. Number 2, it is wind energy. And number 3, that is tidal energy. So let's move on to this. Now, what is solar energy? Solar energy means obviously this energy is obtained from the sun or sunlight. Though we the people, those who live in India, we live in tropical country, like we live in a line which the Tropic of Cancer which pass through India. So that means it is a tropical country. That means the amount of heat we receive, that is also very high. So there is a one statistic or one data that per hour generally that means the countries that live in tropical region, they get 5 to 7 kilowatt of sunlight or solar energy, which is very high. Okay, so we have this type of ingredients. We have the sunlight, we have the heat. Now what is the main requirement over here? Yes, the energy generation or the power generation. Okay, one thing here it should be mentioned that this type of energy, what I told you before also, that the initial cost of the production of such energy resources is very high, but the maintenance cost, because after installation the maintenance cost is really so low. Okay, so there are various examples given in your book where this solar energy can be used. Okay, so what are these? See, number one, it is solar cells. What is the solar cells? The solar cells are also known as the photovoltaic cell. Okay, now photovoltaic cell or solar cell, that means both are quite similar. These cells are made up of very thin wafers of semiconductor materials from silicon and gallium. So what are the main ingredients for solar cell? Silicon and gallium. When the sun radiation strikes on these wafers or on the semiconductor material, then generally the energy produced. Okay, the solar cells are widely used in calculators, nowadays in electrical or electronic watches and street lighting. So this solar cells, this a cell means one type of battery, you can say. So this type of battery we can use in like calculator, we can use it in the electronic watches and also in street lighting. Done. Now after solar cell, that is another one which is solar cooker. What is solar cooker? Cooker means the particular thing, a particular appliance where we can cook something, right? So solar cookers use the solar heat by reflecting the solar radiation using a mirror that is fixed on this cooker. So basically solar cooker is a black type of box. The sides of the cooker, it is completely covered by black enamel or black paints. Okay, so when the heat is coming, it is completely trapped by the box. Okay, and there is no other spaces from where the heat can be radiated back. So obviously now the heat is inside the box. So if you want to cook something, you put it, and with the heat, with the application of this heat, the food will be cooked. Okay, so this is the solar cooker. Now last one is solar water heater. So water heater means, obviously I know you all know what is heater, the particular appliance which is generally used to generate some heat and all. Okay, so this is very important. Sunlight is allowed to fall on a very flat plate collectors. Okay, see here, so many flat plate collectors are there, which are shallow rectangular trays filled with water, and it is inclined one. Now why this is inclined? Now you can ask me that, ma'am, why this solar water heater is quite inclined? Because the inclination means it can easily trap the huge amount of sunlight, okay, which will be help to boil the water. So that is the main function over here. So these all are the basic three appliances. Now I want to say that why we as a pupil will rely on this solar energy. Because number one point, the amount of sunlight is unlimited. There is no fixed time that yes, after such time period sun will be vanished from the earth or from the universe. Okay, so we can easily use and we can easily consume the sunlight for generating of heat and the temperature. Number two, it is completely pollution free. If you are comparing this with coal and petroleum, then you can easily identify that yes, this type of source is completely pollution free. So it is better to rely on this type of energy sources. Number 3 point is, I told you the installation price or the initial cost for this solar energy and the other non-conventional energy sources is very high, but the maintenance cost is very low. So when the maintenance cost will be low, then people, they can easily consume it. Okay, and now the tropical countries, especially India, then Sri Lanka, they are mostly dependent on this type of energy sources. Okay. Now the next point is the wind energy. Wind energy means obviously the energy is obtained from the wind. Okay, generally wind energy we can get it from the windmills. Now what are the windmills? It is one type of machine with so many blades. Okay, and generally when wind blows, the blades, they starts revolving or they starts rotating. Okay, so the rotation of the blade will be depend on the force of the or the speed of the wind. If the wind will blow very fast or in a very higher speed, then obviously the rotation of the windmill will be very high. Generally the windmills are located on the coastal regions or on the desert type of regions. Why? Because these are completely dominated by the winds. Obstacles you can't find there. A number of windmills, when they are installed in a definite pattern in clusters, they are known as wind farms. Okay, they generate a very large amount of electricity. Now what is wind farm? When so many windmills are completely installed together, then they form the wind farms. Okay, now India, it ranks 5th in the world to produce the wind energy. Now what are the advantages of wind energy? Yes, the advantages of wind energy are more or less same with the solar energy. It is also pollution free. The amount of wind, that is obviously it is not fixed. Okay, and then we can easily operate these windmills, like people, they can easily operate it, and the maintenance cost of these windmills are very less. Done. Now the next energy is tidal energy. Now what is that tidal energy? The tide means through the attraction, gravitational attraction of moon and sun, when the water from the surface of the earth, it rises up and falls down. This periodic rise and fall of the water is known as tides. We all know that. Now we will discuss about the generation of tidal energy. So here the tidal energy can be harnessed by constructing a tidal barrage during high tide. The sea water, what they do, they generally flows into the reservoir of the barrage and they turns the turbine. Now what is turbine? Turbine is a machine, it looks like that. Okay, and with the speed of the wind, you can say with the speed of the water force, it generally rotates, and by this rotation it will generate the tidal energy. So in India, the so many places like Gulf of Kutch, then Cambay, Sundarbans, these are very much suitable for this tidal energy resources. And another important places, that is Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now what are the advantages of tidal energy? Massive amounts of water in the oceans, they move in extremely predictable patterns, and this makes easy to harness the tidal energy. So here the amount of water is enormous, so we can easily obtain or we can easily generate tidal energy. Number 2, obviously tides are controlled by the gravitational pull because of Earth, Sun and Moon, and this means that as long as the Earth is being orbited by the Sun, obviously tide will be continued. Okay, so that means it is also inexhaustible source of energy. Then again the same points, it can be produced if the water moves at very low speed also. Okay, and here you cannot find any type of carbon emission, that means the amount of pollution is also very less. So see here, all the advantages of such energies are quite same, because here the main points are they are all inexhaustible, pollution is very less, and the costing, the maintenance cost is very less. So everywhere the advantages are more or less same. Okay, so I hope this topic is quite clear to you all. In the next part of this video, I am going to discuss about the rest of the examples of non-conventional sources of energy. Till then, thank you.